My name is Emma, and I want to share my story. It's a tale of love, mistakes, and hope. I was a quiet child who rarely spoke and didn't have many friends. My parents were very strict. They didn't allow playing, having friends, or hobbies. I didn't attend kindergarten, and starting school was terrifying. I asked myself, how will I talk to the other kids? Eventually, I made a few friends. At school, I kept to myself, reminding myself to stay quiet, to stay safe. I longed to join art classes and play sports because I loved drawing, but my parents insisted I focus only on our studies, saying art initiative. After finishing school, I went to college where I met Ryan. He was tall, funny, and always made me laugh. He told me, "You're so beautiful," and for the first time, I felt special. We spent hours talking, and he said, I was 18 and deeply in love. I believed Ryan would take care of me. When he asked me to marry him and start a family, I gave up my dreams. I left college because I thought love mattered more than education. At first, everything seemed perfect. We were happy and soon had a daughter named Lily, but things began to change. Ryan started telling me, "You can't wear those clothes." He didn't like my tattoos or short hair and asked me to change my style. I'd stopped seeing my friends because Ryan said, "You don't need them. Stay with Lily." Ryan began coming home late, always claiming I was with my friends. I felt so alone. When I tried talking to him, he didn't listen. One night, he got angry and shouted, "You're not a good wife." I cried that night, and things only got worse. One day, Ryan hit me. I wanted to leave, but was terrified. I went to my parents for help, but they told me, "You are married. Stay with your husband." Feeling trapped, I returned to Ryan hoping things would improve. Not long after, I got pregnant again. This time, I had a son, Jake. He looked just like me, and I loved him with all. When Jake was born, Ryan didn't even come to the hospital. When I got home, he coldly asked, "You wouldn't hurt Hootie back so soon." It hurt deeply. Then I discovered Ryan had a girlfriend. I wanted to leave, but didn't know how. I had no money and 2 children to care for. Then Ryan joined the army, leaving me alone with the kids. Ryan called me from the army one day, saying, "I found someone new." I couldn't believe it and asked him why. He said, "She makes me happier than you do." 3 months later, he called again, saying, "I made a mistake. Please take me back." We tried to work on our marriage, but Ryan didn't change. He continued to hurt me with his words. Now we've been married for 16 years. Ryan makes some effort to improve, but his words still wound me. I often reflect on my life. Why did I forgive him so many times? I'm 33 years old now, and I'm no longer the same person I was. I've grown stronger, but I often feel exhausted. Some days, it feels like I don't exist. I want to wake in a better life. I want happiness, not just for me, but also for my children. Every morning, I wake up early and look at my kids. They are my reason to keep moving forward. Lily is 8 years old now, and she loves drawing and singing. Jake, who's 4, enjoys play. I make breakfast and pack Lily's lunch for school, while Jake stays home with me. There are days when everything feels overwhelming. I feel drained and sadness washes over me. I ask myself, how did my life turn out this? One day, my neighbor knocked on the door. Her name was Sarah, and she smiled warmly as she said, "Hi, Emma. Would you like to come over for tea?" Sarah told me, "You're not alone. I'm here for you." Her words brought me to tears. For the first time in a long while, I didn't feel so isolated. Sarah suggested something that changed everything. She said, "Why don't you start working from home?" I thought about it. Ryan didn't want me working outside, but maybe I could do something small. I decided to start baking cakes and selling them. In the beginning, it was challenging. I doubted. One day, Ryan came home angry. He shouted, "Why are you baking? You don't need to work. I stood my ground and said, I need to do this for myself and the kids. I won't stop. Ryan was taken aback. He didn't say anything. Life didn't change overnight. Ryan still gets angry sometimes. But I began setting boundaries. I told him, I won't let you hurt me anymore. If you hit me again, I'll leave. At first, he didn't take me seriously, but I stayed for 30 term. I knew I had to protect myself and my children. I also started meeting new people. Sarah introduced me to her friends, who were kind and supportive. Slowly, I began doing smarter things to rebuild my life. I started to rediscover myself. I cut my hair short again in more colorful clothes. For the first time in a long while, I felt like myself. One day, Lily said, Mama, now I'm taking the time to think about what I truly want. I want a life that's safe and joyful for my children. I want to feel free. Not sure if Ryan would ever change, but I'm not the same person I used to be. I'm no longer that scared girl. Remind myself, one day you'll find peace, Aris. I don't know when that day will come, but I hold on to the belief that it will. If you're reading my story, I want you to know something. You are strong. You can get through with tough times. Don't ever give up on yourself. I hope my story inspires someone and gives them hope. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and share.